the new coach at Shorter College, new program, the NAIA, Rome, Georgia, Josh Henson, and coming here at the NWCA convention. And what's it been like for you here to basically be with other coaches again, kind of back in the coaching realm, and now as a head coach at not just a brand new program, but a first 4-year program in Georgia for quite a while?
It's always great to get together with other coaches, share ideas, and just kind of find out what's going on in other programs. And the convention does a great job of getting the coaches together and just infusing a lot of new ideas back into college wrestling. And it was great being part of the Leadership Academy and just getting to know a little more about a lot of different areas that are vital to the program, marketing, fundraising, that sort of type of thing.
Just in case people don't know, give the folks a little bit of background on your coaching resume, so to speak, before landing as the new coach at Shorter.
I graduated in 2002 from Penn, and right away took over a club position there. And then the second year I was at Penn, I became the head assistant. So I jumped right into pretty high-level Division I coaching. Stayed there for a couple years, went out to the Olympic Training Center for a year and a half, and then I went back to Penn for a couple years, and decided it was time to try to become a head coach somewhere, and it was an exciting opportunity to get down to Shorter.
With Shorter being an NAIA program, you have scholarships, and you've got pretty much a need filled. What's it been like recruiting here early with the South and such?
It's been unbelievable. There is such a need for wrestling in the South. We probably had 200 guys contact us in the first month, and rather than recruiting, it's been more of just responding. We really haven't had a chance to reach out to guys. We've been overwhelmed with the response, so it's been great. At the same time, it just kind of exemplifies the need for programs in the South.
As far as the NAIA level, people will look and go, well, it's still not an NCAA school. What's the deal when you respond? It's not just a program. NAIA, NCAA, wrestling's wrestling in a lot of places. But what are the benefits, at least in your situation, for the program starting in the NAIA?
Well, there's a lot of benefits starting in NAIA. There's, like anyone, stereotypically, there's less rules in the NAIA, and I think everybody knows that. But just getting a program off the ground, it's nice not to have to worry so much about the rules that the NCAA has. On the other hand, we don't have to worry so much. There's guys who are eligible in NAIA that might not be eligible NCAA-wise. And there is an advantage starting a program in NAIA. There's no restrictions on guys coming into the room. There's less restrictions recruiting. So rule-wise, it really makes it a lot easier to start a program, and it's definitely the way to go when you're starting a new program.
And in regards to building a schedule, how difficult has that been? Is that what some of this trip has been?
Yeah.
Dates and things like that. Travel-wise, it's got to be a little difficult.
Well, for two reasons, it is a little difficult. We don't have a ton of teams in our area, obviously. But the other thing is getting schools to come in and wrestle a dual meet with us when we don't have a team in place. It's a real leap of faith. We've gotten 5 or 6 teams to come in and wrestle us at home, which has been great. We're in a conference, so that helped getting some home dual meets, but that's definitely a challenge.
That's what the Mid-South.
Yeah, Mid-South Conference.
And other schools in that conference have added wrestling recently. Lindsey Wilson has added it. King College, I think they're going to move to Division II, but that's kind of the conference that's looking at wrestling. So what's it like to have that infrastructure kind of already in place where it really helps with travel?
Well, it was great for us. We jumped in the year after Lindsey Wilson came into the conference, which made it official sport for the conference. Until they had 5 teams, they weren't recognized as a conference sport. Now we're the 6th team, so we're kind of jumping in. We got the benefit of already being recognized by the conference as a sport, and it's that was so important for us because it gave us home dual meets, it gave us a structure, and we weren't starting totally from scratch as far as the schedule. And it just kind of gives us a place to jumping off point. So it was really important to be involved in that conference.
As far as the importance of wrestling in Georgia collegiately, where do you think this is going to? Is this going to leave? Dart kind of plays the trail, being the first 2-year school, starting as an NCAA club, and then they got they're NJCAA. You guys are the NCAA, the NAIA. What is those? You got 2 programs now in Georgia, 2-year, 4-year. Arkansas is going to kind of have the same thing.
Yep.
The growth of wrestling. What's the next step for wrestling in Georgia?
The next step is to add other NAIA schools. It just makes sense for NAIA schools to add wrestling. We're going to have 50, 60 guys in 8 months. and we're going to jump into it. And really, there's a ton of NAIA schools, and we have other schools that we compete against in other sports, and they see wrestling, and they see there's such a niche there where they can bring students to campus, and a lot of these small schools are just struggling for enrollment right now and trying to drive enrollment. Wrestling makes sense for them. I would see in the next year or two, we're going to add 2 more NAIA teams, and there's a lot of momentum for wrestling in Georgia, and I think that's going to transfer over to Alabama and hopefully Florida, but I definitely think NAIA in the near future is going to be growing, and hopefully that translates into other NCAA schools. I know there's teams in Georgia that just really have to make that decision to start a team, and I think with the presence there, it affects the state in a lot of different ways. But definitely, there's going to be increased opportunity collegiately in the next few years through our program. Just people watching us, we're the litmus test, and it's important that we do well because people are watching, ADs are watching, and I think our success is going to translate into other programs being added.